Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. We have a video today from Lockethebountyhunter.
Well, guys, that date I was supposed to go on, it didn't happen. I didn't go. I used to have a really bad habit, even in relationships, of being over accommodating to the guy. And that's because I just like to do that out of that's just who I am. I like to make other people's lives easier, even if it means it's an inconvenience to me. I don't know why I'm like this, but that doesn't always apply when you're going on a first date. If somebody really wants to take you out and they're offering to take you on a date, they should come to you. And I just found myself in this scenario, doing all the things I used to do again. I just feel like I would try to be so accommodating and I would say I'll come to a restaurant near you. And I found myself doing that again. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go down this path again. If they wanna go on a date with me, they can come to a location near me. It just felt like I was doing a lot of work to go on a first date. And I was like, I'm gonna pump the brakes on this one. And let me tell you, this location, it was not close to my home. So this was a trek for me. If someone really wants to go on a date with you, if someone really wants to take you out, they will come to you.
Same thing goes for you. If you really wanted to go out with him, you would go to him.
Well, it sounds to me like you didn't even want to go out on the date in the first place, which wouldn't be surprising. You're a modern woman. You accumulate first dates the same way college dorm rooms accumulate empty bottles of 5 o'clock vodka. And it's come to the point where the idea of going out on a date with a dude is so exhausting that you can't even be bothered to travel to the guy and see him. Nope, he's gotta come to you because traveling too far hurts your fifis. And you're going to make it sound like you're some sort of a social martyr by saying you're just being accommodating. But let's just be real here. We're talking about exceptions. In other words, for dudes like Chad, you'll go to the ends of the earth if it means you'll think you have a shot with him. But anything less, yeah, that dude is expected to come to you. And even then, he still has to pay for your ride, pay for the food, and make sure you got enough bus fare to get back after you tell him you're not interested in him. And what does this guy get for his trouble? A bitter, middle-aged woman is going to spend the entirety of the date resenting him because you chose to waste 3 hours of your life getting ready for a date you didn't even want to go on.
Yep.
Now, sure, a good guy might go...
I mean, she kind of just did it to make a video on the internet talking about how she didn't go out on a date so she can look good on the video.
Out of his way to make your life easier, but woman, you haven't even met the guy yet. And the truth is, he's probably better off because he deserves to be with a woman who's willing to meet closer to him. And sister, that's a bill you simply don't fit.
Want to know something? Second I saw you, couldn't help but think, now there's the kind of girl I'd call a real lemon.
I had no idea I was enrolled in college classes and I just missed so many assignments. I have no idea how this happened. Okay, well, I kind of do. I don't do my, registration, okay? I let my academic advisor do that. She tells me what to do, and I say, okay, bet. But I guess I was very unaware of the schedule she put me in. So I am enrolled.
So you told her to take care of it for you, but you didn't take care of it yourself after she took care of it for you.
In an 8-week online course at a university. And I guess that it's split up into 2, obviously. So it's a full 16 weeks, but you do 2 classes in the first 8 weeks and then the second half. But I completely forgot about it. And so I completed the first 8 weeks of the spring semester, but my dumbass thought, okay, bet, I finished March 4th. I was like, bet, I'm done for the summer, online slays. And then all of a sudden I kept getting notifications for new classes. But on Canvas, sometimes if you don't manually remove classes off of your dashboard, sometimes it'll still give you the notifications of the new classes that are happening. I don't know, at least that's what I've experienced.
I got me a question for you, darling. I mean, why are you even going to school? What's
right? That's it seems it's above your IQ grade.
What's the freaking point? You don't choose your classes, you don't pay attention in those classes, you can't even be bothered to look up the class's attendance policy.
Right.
You're paying for this with money you don't even have by taking out a loan to attend these university classes. So why are you even bothering? It's not like college is gonna help you out. It's no...
You would think when people spend massive tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on education, they would take it seriously. But then you get majority of people like this.
The fact that your typical college experience is overrated, overpriced, and overvalued and comes with a massive freaking hangover. But unless it's for very specific fields, it's not gonna do you any good. Especially for a modern broad who thinks that movies like Wuthering Heights is a documentary. And with this rant, I can already tell you're gonna spectacularly fail as an adult. How can you manage being a grown-up when you're so focused on summer vacations? And what makes this worse is that it's probably one of those worthless college elective courses. You know the type. It's a required course in some department that does nothing to further your education in the field that you want to study. Things like basket weaving, deviant racisms, or my personal favorite, the philosophy of Taylor Swift. And considering how colleges are nowadays, it wouldn't be surprising if that was an actual class.
I'm almost positive it is.
And like I said, you're paying for it, and it doesn't matter if you're attending these classes or not. So you're pretty much telling the world that you're going into catastrophic levels of debt in exchange for literally nothing.
And so I thought that's what was happening, and I kept swiping out of the notification. Like, I literally was getting so pissed off, like, stop bothering me. And today I got a notification from Canvas that, like, my professor emailed me, and I was like, what? And I looked, and she's like, hey girl, like, you haven't done your assignments, like, you good? And I was like, girl, like, I'm not enrolled in here, like, what are you talking about? And then I looked.
It's just, again, they're children.
No, I fully am. Like, I'm fully enrolled in like 2 classes right now because it's like the second 8 weeks. I'm not done until May. Now, luckily, I'm being a little dramatic. Luckily, the first set of assignments were due literally yesterday, so I've only missed 1 day. And so I just like completed those right now, and I'll just like take a late penalty. And I'm so grateful that it wasn't more than just 1 week, but like, am I okay?
You have had the frontal lobe of your brain removed and replaced with bubble wrap.
Well, no, you're not okay. And it has nothing to do with your classes, even though they really don't help you. Now let's just think about this for a second. Now, considering you're enrolled in a university, I'm forced to assume that you're legally an adult. The only exception would be if you're some kind of a super genius, and judging from the way you're squealing, yeah, I think it's safe to say that of all the words to describe
pretty safe
you,
on that
genius most certainly wouldn't be one of them. You're acting like this is a silly story, but woman, that's not what's happening here. You shirked your responsibilities based entirely on an assumption because you refused to do any due diligence. You can't even pick out your course.
You couldn't even do any of the work. The work was done for you, and you still couldn't even check the work to see what classes you had.
Without someone helping you, and if you can't do that, then you are by no means an actual adult. Now, don't get me wrong, I mean, I didn't take college seriously, but I at least had enough common sense to know my own stupid class schedule. But you're taking the cake on this one, sister, and I can't help but think that the way this broad is acting is the norm when it comes to your typical female college life failure and training. They have no idea what they're doing, they don't care, and they think someone's just gonna swoop in to bail them out when things get complicated.
And they think they're just funny and cute and quirky for it.
They won't be able to manage a thing, but that's not going to stop them from voting for whichever commie is going to promise them free stuff in exchange for their complete and utter loyalty. And I got to be honest on this one. That idea? Yeah, it's rather terrifying.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but women voters? Welcome to planet Mars. I'll be over in my spaceship.
The other night I had a guy around for the first time in a while. He sits down on the couch, we're talking, we're flirting, it's going really well, and he looks at me and he's like, well, do you want to put something on the TV? We were in my hotel room, and I looked at him and I was like, I'm gonna be so dead ass with you. I have ripped all of the cords out of the back of that TV because I was trying to find an HDMI cord to watch the new season of Invincible. This man lit the fuck up. He goes, there's a new season of Invincible? I thought he was being smooth, because next he says, well, there's a TV in your bedroom, right? I had a suite, okay? 2 TVs. I was like, yeah. We got into the bed, we tried to make the TV work, the TV wasn't working, so what do you think happened next? We watched Invincible on my laptop. That's what happened next.
My man.
Luckily I love Invincible, so honestly I was not disappointed at all.
It's funny when lesbians turn back to riding carousels again. It's interesting.
Full disclosure, gentlemen and gents, outside of a few clips, I've never really seen Invincible. I mean, after watching some,
I went to my barber and he had it on. It looks very interesting. Pretty gory, pretty good storyline. I've only watched like 1 episode, so.
Really see why. Yeah, the animation is okay. J.K. Simmons is one hell of a voice actor, but at the end of the day, it's just woke nonsense that I can't be bothered to consume.
I had an abortion.
Which makes perfect sense why this blue-haired freak in nature loves the show. And apparently the only thing that this thing loves more than her cartoon slop is getting porked by dudes. And sister, I gotta tell ya, if this guy would rather watch an entire season of cartoons beating each other to a bloody pulp instead of seeing you naked, then you have completely missed the moral of the story on this one. But I really can't be surprised. The dude was put in a no-win scenario, so he chose the safest and less painful option by keeping you fully clothed and wasting 4 hours of his life while still being able to keep some semblance of dignity. I mean, I personally would have chosen the third option and tried to jump out the window to escape your clutches, because I can't watch Invincible. I mean, I just won't do it. I mean, I'm willing to do a lot for you guys. I suffered the marvels for you, but do I hold that against you? No, because I did it of my own volition, and a lot of you told me not to do it. But did I listen?
Nope.
No. So now I have to live with the shame knowing that I shelled out $5 to watch the Marvels when everyone else had common sense. So, thanks, I guess. Special thanks to the fine members of the Bounty Board over on Patreon. If I ever decide to watch woke slop, I'll do it for some of the best damn patrons on the planet. All hail! And if you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the Bounty Board over on Patreon, where for $5 a month, you can get access to exclusive content you're not going to find on YouTube. Links in the pinned comment down below if you want to check it out.
Whenever I make content that's like blatantly anti-male, I get comments and messages saying fatherless behavior. So now's a good time to tell you guys, if you weren't already aware, that if there's anyone alive who respects men less than I do, that would be my father, okay? This is the man who tried to like manifest me into being a lesbian when I was a teenager. If I would express interest in a boy, want to be friends with a boy, want to date a boy, he would just be like, gross. Why? Why would you want to be around boys? Just hang out with girls. Just date girls. Your life will be easier if you just stick with women. And you know what? He was right, but I didn't listen. So when I was 19, I broke off an engagement because I got cheated on. Call up my dad and I say, hey, can I keep some stuff at your place? Because I had to move out. And before he says yes, he says, you know, this probably wouldn't happen to you if you only dated girls. When I was 20, I got pregnant. Asked him if he wanted to meet the child's father. He said, no. Why would I want to meet him? When I was 21, I gave birth. He shows up to the hospital room. He talks to me. He holds the baby. He doesn't even acknowledge that man's existence.
That's not my problem. It's yours.
Hey woman, I don't think you've realized that you just proved our point, because what you're doing is indeed fatherless behavior.
Yep.
You're covered in god-awful tattoos, you became a single mother at the age of 20, and all you do is hate on us thanks to your rampant daddy issues. Now, I have no idea how true this story is, and I'm not going to do research to find out. But let's just go ahead and say, for the sake of argument, that what you're saying is 100% accurate, and their father was trying to groom you into becoming the lesbianisms. If that's true, I'm not going to defend the guy. There's a lot of bad dads out there who screw up their kids. But at the end of the day, you're the one who decided to make the worst decisions possible by going after the wrong men, getting knocked up by one of them, and thinking that somehow your dad is going to support your life decisions. Now, you could have, well, I don't know, not decided to be a raging psycho, but instead you went all in, and you're trying to blame us for the fact that you had a shitty father. Now, most adults who have had a traumatic childhood will do the work to sort things out so they can live productive lives on their own.
We try.
But sister, you're doing the exact opposite with this. I'm not saying that you didn't have bad experiences, but you use those experiences as a crutch so you can excuse your bad life choices by blaming us.
That's society nowadays. They love to use whatever traumas and stuff they had in their past as some kind of crutch to always be able to justify any bad behavior they have.
Well, it sucks to be you, sister. We're not taking the blame, especially for a single mother life failure.
Totally pretends he doesn't exist. When I left him like 8 to 9 months later, my dad says, finally, still hates him to this day. This is
I don't even believe this story.
the man who still refuses to learn my current partner's name. I've been dating the same guy for over 3 years, okay? He still calls him by the wrong name. Like 2 months ago, I even said to my dad, you know, kind of feel like you're doing this on purpose. And he said, why would I do that? I like Dan. Dan is not his name. This is a man who point blank to my face has told me multiple times that women are smarter than men. Women are better than men. You can never fully trust a man. You can
Yeah, I don't believe you. I don't believe any of this.
never fully depend on a man. Men will only disappoint you. And that shit became so ingrained in my fucking psyche that I took it, turned it around, and flipped it right on him. Because I love my dad, but at the end of the day, he's just a man. And he kind of sucks too.
Emotional damage.
You know what, sister? I gotta tell ya, I am impressed. You figured out a way to engage in some of the worst fatherless behavior imaginable despite your father actually being around.
Right.
Now, once again, if this stuff actually happened, then I don't condone the behavior from this father. Dads are supposed to protect and guide their kids into becoming strong adults. And if this is the case, then that guy failed in that regard. But woman, you gotta listen to yourself on this one. You're trying to blame him for your terrible choices. But at the end of the day, they were your choices. And you actively make those choices just to spite him, which is weird because the best way to spite a bastard father is to go out into the world and thrive
and do well in life
despite what he tried to do to you. But in a weird way, it almost sounds like you actually support the messages that he gave you. And this just begs the question, if your dad ruined you that badly, then why in the hell are you still talking to him? You know he's not going to care. He's just going to find a reason to hate your choices no matter what you do.
Yeah, sounds like father issues. Like your dad wasn't a great dad by the stories you're telling us. Telling you the hate all men and men suck and women are better. Yeah, I don't even believe that. I don't even believe any man would ever really say that about men in general because men understand men. And men can see the women out there. We're not that dumb. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. Catch you guys next time. Ciao.